Hey, welcome to my channel. Um, Episode 8 for season 4. Spoilers if you haven't watched it, please, come back after you watched it if you enjoy my talk about only murders in the building. In any case, it's getting real interesting again. A lot of things were explained a little bit now as far as in regards to Dudinoff, and in regards to his death. I was wrong, as always. Um, and Helga, or basically coming out of nowhere. The real question is I have a feeling the message he sent, Dudinoff sent in the farewell message or farewell video movie recording. I think there was a hidden message in there basically because it's more so to the point where I don't think it looks like more and more that maybe Helga did it. I think it's more because the fact is like that hidden message that Dunov put in there was saying that to someone basically, and Saz probably found out, or two possibly it could be the fact that Saz's murder was, you know, the Paul Rudd character. Now I'll say this: the one thing that made I found very interesting was the outburst scene of Steve Martin was your classic Steve Martin. If you've seen Steve Martin in the past in his former movies, and I'm talking pre 90s, of course, like in the 80s, basically in 70s, that was classic Steve Martin, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, honestly, if you've ever seen The Jerk, the Cyrano movie and such, I don't want to say the Parent, not the Parent Trap, Father of the Bride, because that was a remake, of course, but I don't want to say that, but all those other movies that he did, specifically The Jerk, I was like, it almost reminded me of him, and I was like, trains, planes, automobiles as well too, as well, in the 80s as well from that perspective. But it reminded me of like the old Steve Martin, like the classic Steve Martin, and it was great. I enjoyed it, and then of course Steve Levy coming on board, it was like funny as hell. I mean, it was really interesting to see a conglomerate of all those stars. You've had Eugene Levy, of course, Martin Short, Steve Martin, Selena Gomez, Zach Galifianakis, as well as Eva Longoria. But then you had Richard Kind, as well as Kunal Numananji. It was so fascinating how they all were in that one room. And I mean, if Paul Rudd was there, that would have been great, as well as Meryl Streep. That would have been awesome. Like that kind of eclectic of stars, movie stars or celebrities in one scene would have been dynamic. But in any case, um, Richard Kind as well too. If you've seen Richard Kind in other movies and some of the shows that he's been on, like Mad About You, Spin City, that this is the typical Richard Kind, which was great. I mean, it was also classic Richard Kind from that perspective as well. That was like unbelievable. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Martin Short, I want to see a classic Martin Short come out in this season, if that's possible. Hopefully, from the next episode, he comes out. Um, but this, by far, I would say this episode. I don't want to say answered questions, but may have opened up some as well too. Now the question is this dude enough person? Was he actually killed? It looks like I was wrong, and like the character that I thought played Dudenoff, it was actually Dudenoff. Um, it's possible the girl, the locksmith Helga, was, I don't want to say his daughter, probably his niece. It's possible. I don't know, or some nature. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Or two, she was having her revenge against. But the fact that all of them revolved around Dudenoff was interesting in itself too. I feel like there's more to it. Like Saz and Dudenoff tied together, it has to be together. They have to be tied together. I'm not sure why, but in any case, um, Saz. I have a feeling Saz was close to the murder, and she was figuring out, and whatever it may be. But in any case, if Dudenoff did kill himself, basically, then okay, fine, that makes sense. But again, between this season and the first season, it's still actually it still didn't explain a lot of the stuff that occurred in the first season, as basically Saz put it, which more and more fans of the show would say, like, yeah, there were plot holes in episode one, specifically who killed and poisoned the dog, who left the note, and such. So it's one of those things where, like, we're trying to find that out, etc., and like it was never really answered. This is a case where, like, possibly they all still tie in, and like season four seems like it's trying to close a lot of those loopholes or plot holes, basically, and maybe even plot holes in number two and three for that matter as well too. But it'll be interesting to see how that works out. This is one thing though I will say. I am more looking forward to season five if season four is an indication of how what season five is going to go along, and if they somehow make season five the final season and it tries to tie everything together, that would be great. I mean, in all seasons, that would be amazing in and of itself. But in any case, I'll leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think so far of episode 8? What do you think of so far of season 4? I mean, and what do you think of episode 8 as of for season 4? Did you think that almost outburst of Steve Martin was your classic Steve Martin? I would love to know your thoughts about that as well too. Again, leave your comment in the comment section. I do read all my comments and I do respond to them. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please also hit the subscribe button. I think it's down here. Could be wrong. You don't have to turn on the notifications. I don't think I'm worthwhile or noteworthy of being notified, getting notifications about me posting in any case. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, and of course, always unrehearsed. Until next time.